Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Counting on Jana Duggar's biggest what-if wedding dress. Counting on alum Jana Duggar shocked the world with her stunning wedding dress. It even raised questions about whether Jim Bob was in the same boat with it or not. The oldest Duggar daughter wore a V-neck ivory satin dress for her big day. However, some Reddit users reacted to the time Jana put on what may be the most revealing wedding dress in the family. Keep reading to see the photos. Counting on Jana Duggar's wedding dress with Stephen Wisman. Jana continues to receive praise regarding her wedding dress. Last month, the Counting on alum shared a closer look at her dress during her wedding ceremony. According to some, Jana may have worn the best Duggar wedding dress ever. Others also pointed out how beautiful the bridesmaids were, adding that it could be the best wedding in the family as well. Jana has yet to release clips from the ceremony, raising suspicions that they may get released by TLC instead. Jana's biggest what-if wedding dress. Some Reddit users reacted to Jana's latest vlog in which she shops for her wedding dress. She put on one that was way more revealing than what she wore on her big day. According to the poster, they couldn't imagine Jim Bob and Michelle's faces when they saw their daughter wearing such a dress. It's a sleeveless dress with her front showing off more cleavage. Some Counting on fans even said that things would blow up much more if Jana Duggar selected the dress. I'm surprised she even tried this on. Wow. It's a beautiful dress. I'm surprised Jana felt comfortable coming out of the fitting room. Mother would have had a stroke. That is such a wonderful dress. The halter dress looks stunning on her. I am really surprised Michelle wasn't with her. Counting on, how's Jana Duggar today? Jana has yet to share new updates since marrying Stephen Wisman. However, the Counting on alum recently shared vlogs featuring the things she's been up to before her wedding. One of them was the renovation of her fixer-upper with Stephen in Nebraska. Jim Bob and some of his daughters even came over to help with the renovations. It's unclear if Jana Duggar is already living in Nebraska with her husband, but she recently shared IG stories clips of him performing with his family, implying that she's been living with him. Jana Duggar, the eldest daughter of the Duggar family from TLC's Counting On, has long captured the curiosity of fans who have followed her life under the bright lights of reality TV. Amid the whirlwind of weddings, courtships, and engagements that her siblings have experienced, one recurring question that lingers in the hearts of fans is, what if Jana had her own wedding day? What would her wedding dress have looked like? While her siblings' marriages were often front and center on the show, complete with dazzling wedding dresses and emotional ceremonies, Jana's journey has been different. The Cinderella of the Duggar family, as many have called her, has remained single well into her 30s, a rarity in a family that promotes early courtship and marriage. However, the absence of a wedding hasn't stopped fans from dreaming up what Jana's big day would be like, especially what gown she would choose to walk down the aisle in. The expectations of Duggar bridal fashion. Over the years, fans have seen a consistent theme in Duggar wedding dresses: modesty. The Duggar women adhere to a strict dress code influenced by their faith, which emphasizes covering the body in a way that is considered respectful and modest. For a Duggar bride, this means that wedding dresses have traditionally been conservative, with high necklines, long sleeves, and floor-length skirts. Jessa Seawold, Jill Dillard, Ginger Vuolo, and Joy Anna Forsyth all wore stunning yet modest gowns for their weddings, often with lace detailing, veils, and elegant trains. Each of their dresses embodied their personal style while staying true to the Duggar family's modesty guidelines. Fans have come to expect this kind of bridal fashion from the Duggar daughters, and many have imagined what Jana's choice would be. Jana's unique style. Jana Duggar is often seen as the most independent of the Duggar children. While many of her siblings have followed the traditional path of courtship, marriage, and family life, Jana has chosen to remain at home, focusing on home projects, gardening, and interior design. She has a practical, down-to-earth style, but there is an undeniable elegance to her taste. Those who follow her on social media often see glimpses of Jana's eye for beauty. Whether she's decorating her family's home or putting together a floral arrangement, her creativity shines through. This creative streak would likely play a significant role in her wedding dress choice. It's easy to imagine Jana eschewing the cookie-cutter modest gowns of her siblings in favor of something that better reflects her personality. Her style can be described as both timeless and modern, with a love for vintage touches. She often gravitates towards simple, classic silhouettes, but there's always a hint of individuality in her fashion choices, whether it's a pop of color in her accessories or a unique fabric texture. The dream dress. So, what would Jana Duggar's wedding dress look like? Given her affinity for classic elegance, one can imagine Jana choosing a dress with a timeless A-line or ball gown silhouette, but with a modern twist. Picture a gown made from luxurious satin or mikado fabric, materials that have a beautiful sheen and structure. The dress would likely have a modest neckline, perhaps a bateau or illusion neckline with lace detailing, providing a nod to traditional modesty while incorporating a touch of sophistication. Long sleeves would be a must in line with the family's guidelines, but Jana would probably opt for sheer lace sleeves that add delicacy and refinement without compromising the modesty she holds dear. The bodice would be fitted, likely with intricate lace or embroidered detailing, adding texture and visual interest to the gown without overwhelming the simplicity that Jana often favors. As for the skirt, Jana might opt for something full but not overly voluminous. A ball gown with soft pleats or a gentle A-line flare would give her the princess feel without the excessive bulk of crinolines or layers of tulle. After all, Jana's practicality would likely lead her to choose a gown that is as comfortable as it is beautiful. The vintage influence. Given her love for antiques and vintage decor, it's possible that Jana's wedding dress would include vintage-inspired elements. She might incorporate lace from a family heirloom into her gown, perhaps repurposing lace from her mother's wedding dress or even a cherished relative's bridal attire. This sentimental touch would not only make the dress uniquely hers, but also honor the family traditions that are so important to the Duggars. Jana's gown might also feature subtle vintage details, such as buttons down the back or a delicate lace train. She's the kind of bride who would appreciate the craftsmanship of a bygone era, and her gown could easily reflect that appreciation with a few well-placed vintage accents. Accessories to complete the look. No Duggar wedding would be complete without the perfect accessories, and Jana's day would be no exception. One can imagine her choosing a simple, elegant veil, perhaps fingertip length with a lace edge that mirrors the detailing of her gown. Her hair, always beautifully styled, might be worn in soft waves or an updo adorned with fresh flowers, a nod to her love of gardening and all things natural. Jana is not one for flashy jewelry, so her accessories would likely be understated and classic. A simple pearl necklace or delicate diamond earrings would complement her gown without drawing attention away from its beauty. Her bouquet, of course, would be a masterpiece. Given her talent for floral design, Jana might even create her own bouquet, filled with her favorite flowers in soft, romantic hues like blush, ivory, and pale lavender. The bouquet would be full and lush, yet perfectly coordinated with the overall elegance of her ensemble. The what-if wedding. While the world waits to see if Jana will ever walk down the aisle, the idea of her wedding dress remains a tantalizing what-if. Fans have long speculated about Jana's love life and whether she will eventually find her happily ever after. But one thing is certain, if and when that day comes, her wedding will be nothing short of breathtaking. Jana Duggar has spent years carving out her own path, and her wedding dress would undoubtedly reflect the uniqueness of her journey. Whether she opts for a vintage-inspired gown, a timeless silhouette, or something entirely unexpected, her bridal fashion will be a beautiful testament to her individuality, her faith, and her enduring elegance. For now, all we can do is dream of what might have been, but if Jana ever decides to say I do, her wedding dress will undoubtedly be the stuff of Duggar legend.